When I started working in flood management, climate change was hardly mentioned. Generally speaking, the climate was considered to be steady and that future predictions could be based on past flood events. All of that has changed.
Climate change is causing greater extremes of rainfall, which in turn is causing greater volumes of flooding from rivers, but it's also causing more frequent flooding. So we're likely to see the impacts of flooding on communities living near rivers being more flooding and more often.
We know that the sea level is rising. We know that storms at sea are becoming worse. We know that in different parts of the world we have greater intensity of rainfall, but we're also finding that weather patterns are changing and flooding is turning up in places that didn't used to have such serious flooding in the past.
One area where this seems to be happening is the Arabian Sea. A few years ago the cyclone hit the north coast of Oman, which hadn't been experienced for over 100 years. Since then, several more cyclones have happened in that area, so it does look like we're getting increasing activities in places where there haven't been so much in the past.
We're now able to capture from space images of what's happening on the ground in near real time, so we can better appreciate where the water is flooding. We can see which roads have been flooded, which communities are cut off from space, and that information can be used to tell the emergency services, for instance, where people are in need of their help or where the roads are impassable. We can never stop the flooding from happening, but we can work with nature to make space for water in our rivers, to allow the flooding to happen. We can build flood defences to defend communities living by the rivers. And these kinds of measures mean that we can be better prepared for the flooding when it does happen.
Places will become, over time, untenable if flooding becomes very frequent. So we're dealing with a very serious issue. And our hope is that if we do take measures, that although things are projected to get worse at the moment, that rate of worsening will gradually decrease as we manage our climate better.